beat Gaetano Buonocore of Italy 5-0 in his semi-final. And here he comes. And the crowd are absolutely thirsting for a Georgian win here. Tatia Bukia came close, so did Gor Evazian, so did Oruj Akhmedovi, and they've got some more finalists to come after this, but they would love to get off the mark here. But the task is a difficult one because he's in with a Russian fighter, and Igor Koloskov. He looked like a good all-round operator to me in his semi-final against Yehor Kurilius of Ukraine, and he scored a first-round knockout against Maciej Marcel of Poland in his quarter-final, and that is unusual. You see RSCs, you see referees stop the contest, but you don't see knockouts very often, particularly at these lower weights. So it'll be interesting to see if Koloskov has got a bit of dynamite in those gloves. 52-kilo weight limit, so there's not exactly a lot on any of these lads as they make their way to the ring, but it's amazing really when they stick those head guards on and you watch them at it in the ring. It's very easy to forget just how young they are, because most of them have been at this a while and they just look so at home in there. The ability level, the skill level is very, very high. These two just being introduced. He'll be feeling this, Japaridze, won't he? Because, like you said before, home crowd brings pressure, but it can definitely lift you. And everybody in here, basically, apart from the Russian team, really, really want him to win here.
Yeah, Japaridze, when he had his ring walk, I was thinking as he came by us that just looked like he had the swagger, really confident swagger of somebody who knows he's got a crowd backing him as well and really pushing him on. But as soon as the Russian came out, you suddenly realise what true swagger looked like. I mean, the confidence that was coming off him, unbelievable. And no surprise, because Russia have been great so far this afternoon and evening. Once again, the exchanging of the pendant, at least from the Russian side, before the bout begins. There's no reason why a lot of these Russian fighters, after seeing now what's happened previously, won't be confident going into their fights, knowing that it could be a continued onslaught.
So here we go into this first round, and Koloskov boxing out of the orthodox stance. Japaridze, as I mentioned, a southpaw with those nice quick feet. He is giving away some height, giving away some reach, so he will look to try and get those feet in quick, but that's a good snappy bit of work there from Koloskov. Caught him with the left hand, just feints with the front foot. Again, just trying to draw something from Japaridze, who he knows will have to try and close that gap on him and come to him. Right hand to the body there from Koloskov. 30 seconds in, this is already a good fight. Japaridze just oscillating that lead hand up and down, throws the backhand. I'm not sure if it quite got there. Dabs with it that time, that did reach. Koloskov throws his right hand quite wide. He doesn't really shoot it straight down the middle. Straight punches have got less distance to travel. That's just a geometrical fact. And that straight shot, I think, would serve him a little bit better. Leads off with a wide right hook. That right hand down the middle there, I think, did just about get through. He's kind of taking his natural reach advantage away a little bit, Koloskov, by not throwing too many straight shots deep into the second minute of the round.
There's a nice right hand there by the Russian too just a moment ago that certainly knocked the Georgian back onto his heels slightly. The speed that right hand that has for Japaridze, and the way it moves and darts all over the place, and it's quick as a flash when it comes out from his body to try and tag his opponent.
Decent bit of work there from him. Right hand to the body. He's looked to the body in the second minute quite a bit, Koloskov, and he's found it often. And the majority of the time he's thrown it, he's found it. Look for it again there and tries to climb into a big left hand. He does tend to load up on his punches a bit, Koloskov. He puts quite a lot into almost everything that he looks to throw. There goes the bell at the end of the round. There's a good competitive round that. Japaridze certainly had his moments in it, and the split scoring there, which doesn't come as a great surprise. Koloskov has got it with 4 out of the 5 judges, and I would have gone his way with that one. Japaridze, I think, could maybe have got a little bit more than the 1 card there. He finished that round quite quite nicely. Did do some good work with that lead right hand up close, as you said, but Koloskov just kind of, he looked like the boss, didn't he? And that makes a big difference sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, the right hand JAPARIDZE was energetic, and it was solid at the very beginning of the round, but it started to fade out of the equation in that middle part, and then came back to fruition again later on in the round. But really, Koloskov was the one that was landing cleaner punches for a fair bit. I mean, I'm a little bit surprised that JAPARIDZE got one, to be honest. I thought Koloskov might have done enough to edge it across the board there. I think it was just a more stoic but composed first round from the Russian.
So into the second round we go. Koloskov wears the left hand there from JAPARIDZE early on into the first 10 seconds, but there's a lead left hook there from Koloskov, who physically is by some distance the bigger of the two. It might sound like a strange thing to say because we're down at light bantamweight and the gap between divisions, the lower weights, is not big, and they have to stay on weight all the way through the competition. But different physiques, different physical makeups. Well, it's mystifying at times how somebody who seems quite a lot bigger than somebody else can be the same weight, but that's what we've got here essentially. Koloskov just clubbing to the side of the head and then leading off with that left hook again there, flinging it up from the waist and getting really good purchase on it. He's had a good opening minute to round two here. He's got good feet as well. He cuts off the ring well. JAPARIDZE isn't running by any stretch, but he's just not really got any room to manoeuvre, the Georgian. Good right hand there again from Koloskov, who's corralling him back into the corner of the ring, and this is a dominant round from the Russian so far.
JAPARIDZE, about the minute mark, had his first real clean 1-2 that he's been able to land on the Russian, but aside from that, it's very much been the fighter in blue that's just controlling the tempo and exactly where this fight goes around the ring as well. It's all on his terms.
Nice right hand to the body from Koloskov. Just shoveled that up right into the pit of the stomach, throws another one there. Lead right hand got through there from JAPARIDZE, but a left came back from Koloskov at exactly the right time. Closing stages of round two, and the Georgian crowd again just trying to get behind their man here and inspire him to greater heights. Lovely right uppercut there to finish things off in the round for Koloskov. It came off the back of a left hook. He threw the left hook, moved away to his right hand side, and then just hurled that uppercut up the middle. The referee could have jumped in with a standing count there, actually. That wouldn't have been surprising. 10-9s across the board there for Koloskov. The crowd don't like it. There are people behind me waving their arms, wolf whistling, but that was a clear round to the Russian.
Yeah, JAPARIDZE had that flourish at the end, just when Koloskov rolled almost into the ropes, and suddenly JAPARIDZE smelt blood for just a few seconds. But even then, as soon as he started to throw a few punches, that's when the left followed by the right uppercut came in from Koloskov. And as we said, the first minute and a half was dominated really by the Russian in terms of controlling the fight, where he wanted it to go, and being able to throw the punches that he wanted to throw as well for it. And then even when JAPARIDZE finds a foothold for a second, it got taken away from him straight away. No surprise that we're looking at 10-9 across the board to the Russian.
You saw that uppercut at the end of the round there. That was a beautiful shot. It really was. So into the third round then. Koloskov is in control here because he's got a 2-point lead with 4 of the judges, the other one level, so he just has to avoid giving away any point deductions and avoid getting stopped basically, and he will pick up a gold medal. Goes with the right hand down to the body. We were saying earlier that would be something that would probably bring him some joy, and it has. Nice little short left hand from the waist there from JAPARIDZE. Did just land on the chin there of Koloskov, and like Akhmadova, he's put a lot into this. JAPARIDZE, he's been ultra competitive all the way through. It's been a good fight to watch, but he's not quite going to have enough to get this done.
It's just sometimes there's a slightly higher quality of fighter that you're facing, and I think he's just facing that right now.
That's exactly what it is.
It's nothing more than that. It's just JAPARIDZE isn't quite at the same match as his opponent, and it's just started to show every so often for 30, 40 seconds sometimes in a round. And that's been enough to tip the scales in the Russians' favour, Koloskov.
deep into the final minute. Leads off with that left hook there, Koloskov. He has some joy with that, but he also misses with it quite often. It's quite a high risk punch to throw. Looking for the uppercut there, the right uppercut on the inside. Right to the body. Do like to see people punch to the body, particularly in these shorter fights. Sometimes it's neglected a bit because people look at it and think it's one of those tactics that brings more joy in the longer format, the pro format. Later in the fight, body work done in the first half might start to really take hold in the second half, but no matter how long the fight, it works. They're clean punches, they're good shots, and a nice exchange to finish things off with there. And I think you summarised it aptly earlier, where you've just got one fighter here who's just a bit better than the other one, and that's why he's won, Koloskov, because all round he's just got a bit more in his locker, and he does have that size advantage too.
And sometimes on another night, that energy that JAPARIDZE shows there is enough to turn their tide in your favour and to give you an edge over your opponent if they are that sort of fighter that is just that little bit better. But tonight it wasn't to be, unfortunately, for him, and the crowd here aren't going to be too happy about the result. They'll be frustrated, I imagine, to some extent, and there were certainly some times in that fight where they felt that their fighter had the upper hand, particularly in that first round, but it won't be the case.
Koloskov gets it. There are a few boos around the arena, a few people shaking their head, but that's loyalty. That's what that is. That's a clear win there for Egor Koloskov. As I say, like some other fights we've seen today, very competitive, close but clear. 30 points to 27 for a number of the judges there. There's a 10-8 there actually in the final round from one of the judges, which makes it 30 to 26. One score of 29 to 28. And Koloskov, well, he's another well-drilled, technically good fighter. And these Russians are walking away with a barrel load full of medals, because that's their third in 4 fights in the boys section. Picked up 10 this afternoon, so it's 13 in total. It's extraordinary stuff, really.
It's quite impressive, and there could be another Russian atop a podium at the end of the final of the bantamweight category, which is up next, as the Russian Bantam Prima gets set to make his way into the